Alright guys, this is game review number 1 and 7 for the week that was. But without further ado, see how it went. Move my right rook pawn up 2. My opponent moves his king side pawn up 2. We move our queen side pawn up 1. He moves his queen side pawn up 2. We move one of our right hand pawns up 1. Brings out his right side knight out. We bring our right side or bishop out. He brings his left side knight out. We bring our king side pawn out. He moves his queen side pawn down 1. We decide block here. Now these 4 pawns cannot go anywhere unless they take diagonally. He moves his right side bishop to threaten our queen. We block moving one of our right pawns up. Retreats. After being by our pawn, he retreats. Bishop. We move with our right-handed pawns up. He moves one of his left rook pawn down. We move our left pawn. We move our left rook pawn up 1. He moves his left side bishop down. We move our left side bishop up. Castles. Move our right side bishop up. He brings his right side rook pawn down. We bring our right side pawn up. Takes us. Take him. He now moves his knight down the board. We have to move. We're going to move here. We move this knight here because we want to protect this space from being moved to by our opponent's knight. He moves here. He can position our rook right there. He moves one of his left pawns down. We move our right pawn bishop up. He takes our bishop. The reason why he took our bishop, I think, is because he didn't want us taking his knight and having him force take our bishop here. Because that means we can take his pawn there with our rook. Opens up for attack, completely up for attack. So I can understand why he took bishop. And we would take his bishop, our pawn. And we also threaten his knight. He moves his knight forward. We take his knight with our knight. Takes our knight with his pawn. We move our queen out. Move our queen out. Brings his queen down to take an unprotected. If unprotected. He's gaining an advantage here. Pressure on us. We move one of our left side pawns up 1. He takes our pawn with his pawn. Takes his pawn with our left side bishop. He brings one of his bishops down. We move our queen on the edge, and then our goal is to threaten his king with our queen. He takes our bishop with his bishop, puts us in check. We take his bishop with our knight, brings his king down one. If he didn't do that, it would have been checkmate. Next move. Our next move, while moving our queen here. However, for some reason, we decide not to check him. Our queen. Pretty mistake. So we decide to castle. And instead of putting the pressure on by checking his king with our queen, decides to move his rook, pressure our queen. We have to retreat, move our queen out of the way. And the reason why we couldn't take his rook up here, because his second rook guarding his first rook. We have to move our queen out of the way. He moves his black pawn down to pressure our queen. And for some reason, I don't understand why I didn't take his pawn here. I had a golden opportunity to take his pawn here. It was unguarded. I don't know why I didn't do it. And now I know why I didn't do it. I couldn't, because his pawn, moving his pawn down, makes his queen checking my king. So I can't take his pawn. Because moving his pawn down, his queen is now checking my king. I have to get the king now. I move my queen over to go in front of the king to protect my king. He takes my queen with his queen. We take his queen with the king. All right, at the moment we've both got 2 rooks and a horse left. Knight. He's got 6 pawns and I've got 5 pawns. The game is still in the balance. He moves his knight down. We take his rook. He takes our rook. Move our king up to threaten his pawn and his knight. He moves his pawn down to protect our knight. Can't take the knight or the pawn because they're both protected. This pawn is protected by the knight, and this knight is protected by the pawn. We move our rook over. He moves his rook down. We move our knight over here. Moves pawn down. Pressure on our rook. For some reason we bring our king down. There. Probably should have placed it here. Actually, no. Sorry. Couldn't place it here because it would have been check. Could have moved here. He's still about to check us, so it's pretty much the only way we can go. Bring our king down here. He moves his knight down to check us again. We move our king away. Moves his rook down. Checks his pawn. We somehow, for some reason, decide to move our knight up here. Brings his knight down here. Both right now his rook and his knight is protecting his pawn from being taken by our rook, and our knight is protected by his pawn. His pawn is protected by his rook. For some reason, we move our king up here. Pushing pawn. Knight comes back up here. We take his pawn. He moves his rook again. We move out. For some reason, we move our knight over here. To be honest, I was playing poker at the same time as playing chess, so I'm concentrating on both games, and as a result, my chess game suffered. He moves his rook down here to threaten our rook. Move out knight down to protect our rook. Moves his rook up here to threaten our knight. Move our king over. He moves his pawn down. We take the pawn. Takes out the mistake. And then we takes our knight. So moving this way over here, sentenced our knight die by the rook as rook. That was a big mistake by us. For this move, taken by my king, coming over here, game was in the balance. However, this rook taking my knight, he suddenly got a knight and a rook versus our sole rook. We take one of his pawns. He puts the pressure on our rook with his rook. We take his pawn, threatening to become a queen. He takes our rook. Right, and with that, we're pretty much dead. He'll just start mopping up our pawns now. We take a pawn with his king. Takes one of our pawns with his knight. We move a pawn up. Moves his knight. Move a pawn up. He takes our knight with his, takes our pawn with his knight. We're down to 3 pawns now. We move a pawn up. Takes our third to last pawn with his rook. We move a pawn up. He moves his knight up. Move our king. We move our knight. He moves his knight to block our pawn from getting close to the finish line. I'm a queen. We move our king. He moves rook. We take knight with our king. He moves his rook, firing line of us. We move our king. He moves his pawns down. Now his pawns can basically be free, become queens now, because he's going to, as you can see shortly, he's going to block us from coming over here to attack his. Move our king. He takes our last pawn. We move our king down. He brings his rook over here. We threaten his rook. However, he moves his king over here. Now you cannot move your king within 1 tile of your opponent's king. You can't move here to take his rook, because his king is will be within 1 tile. We're just forced to wander around. Now he's just free to bring his pawns down. Become queens. Dying of a slow death, and we resign. So the key moment was when we lost our horse. Moved our king away from the horse on the knight, and he took our knight. That was basically the turning point in the game. Otherwise, we could have drew the game, but he put too much pressure on us anyway. He put lots of pressure on us. So the likelihood of winning wasn't very high anyway. we had not put any pressure on him whatsoever, apart from the queen moved to check him. That's pretty much the only opportunity we had to put pressure on his king. On hindsight, he put lots of pressure on our king pieces. He made some mistakes, that's why he won. And he capitalized on his opportunity. That's game number 1 out of the way that we lost. So we lost our first daily game. Now I'll have a look at the second daily game. Right? We'll analyze this one. This is versus DiscoDerek. Without further ado, see how it went. Derek's king side board moves up the board 2 spaces. We move our left rook pawn up 2. He moves his queen pawn up 2. Move our queen pawn. He moves his king pawn down 1. We move our king pawn up 1. Now basically these four pawns cancel each other out. They can't move up unless they take another piece diagonally. He moves his right side knight up the board. We move our left side bishop up. Brings his left side knight out. We bring our left side rook pawn up 1. He brings right side bishop out. We bring one of our right side pawns out. He brings one of his right side pawns out. We move our left rook up 1. This is one of the mistakes that DiscoDerek made. He brings his left side bishop down here. Now, what he doesn't know is once we take his bishop here, he can't take our bishop with his knight, because we'll be taking his knight, our queen, and we would win. We would take 2 pieces and only lose 1. So that's why he doesn't want to take our bishop. Basically, him moving his bishop over here is a big mistake. We take his bishop, tries not to take us with his knight castles instead. We move our right side bishop up. He leaves one of his left side pawns up 1. We move one of our right side pawns up 2. He moves his left rook pawn up 2. We move one of our right side up 1, and we threaten his knight. He has to move his knight away. We move our right side rook pawn up 2. Now basically these pawns cancel each other out. Not only do these 4 pawns cancel each other out, these 4 pawns also cancel each other out. We've got a narrow path to victory here. He moves one of his left side pawns down 1. We bring our left side bishop back. He takes our pawn with one of his left side pawns. We take him with our left side. He moves his left side bishop across. We move our left side knight out. he brings his queen down. Now, this is a mistake. He obviously didn't see this, but the bishop is patrolling this area, so the bishop take him and he resigns. Our bishop took his queen. That was a mistake by him. We take his queen and it's game over. Fights away with the white flag then, right at the end of there. So you made two big mistakes I've highlighted in this game. And that's pretty much why we're always going to win the game. Got a number advantage for taking him twice without reply. That's why we're always going to win the game. Taking his queen was the nail in the coffin. So that's game review, chess game review number 2, guys. So 1-1, lost 1. We lost our first game versus Sykes. We lost our game against DiscoDerek. We go to game number 3 now, guys. And there's 5 more games to review. This is our second game against Sykes. Let's see how it went. He brings out his king side pawn up 2. We bring out right side rook up 1. Right side rook pawn up 1. He brings his queen side pawn up 2. We bring our queen side pawn up 1. He brings his left side knight up into the board. We bring our left side rook pawn up 2. He brings his right side knight out. We bring one of our left pawns up 1. He brings his bishop up, the right side bishop up 1. We move our right side bishop out. He brings his right side knight down the board. Now he's threatening us. We've got to be very careful of this area. We've got to defend. You decide, bring our pawn up here. Brings his from his left pawns down 1. We bring our inside pawn up 1, and now these 2 pawns are cancelling each other out. They only can move up the board by taking diagonally other pieces. He decides the castle, and we bring one of our left side pawns up 2. He takes us this pawn. We take him with our bishop. He moves his rook across to the side. We bring our left rook side pawn up 1. He brings his right side rook pawn down 1, up 1. Bring our left side bishop up 1 space. He moves his knight to put pressure on our queen. We take his knight with our bishop. He takes our bishop with pawn. We move our right side knight out. Brings his left side knight out. Pressure on it. He takes his knight with our knight. He takes our knight with his rook. Now he's got pressure with his rook and bishop here. We move our With our left side pawns up one. He brings his queen out. Now there's lots of pressure on here. We decide to move our pawn up to block this queen from moving further down the board. However, he moves his queen down here. Even more pressure on us. We move our rook over to put pressure on his queen. He moves his queen over here. Kick us. We move in the way of the queen, between the king and queen, to stop the check. Takes us. So pretty much weren't very defensive at the. We weren't defending at all that well at the start. The game snowballed, and he rolled on and moved his queen, rook, and bishop down here, and one of his pawns down here. Checkmate. We can't move there. We can't move there. We can't go here because this pawn is guarding this space and this space. We can't move here. So it's checkmate. We can't take him, so it's checkmate. I let him get too close to me. I wasn't defending properly, and that's why we lost the game. That's game number 3, guys, out of 7 that we're reviewing. We've lost 2, won only 1 so far. Now we go to game number 4. This is versus YuryNick. We move our right side rook pawn up 2. He brings his king side pawn down 2 up the board. We move our king side pawn up 2. He brings his left side knight out. We bring our left side knight out. He brings his left side bishop out. We bring our right side knight out. He brings his right side knight out. We move our left side knight forward. He takes our knight with his knight. We take his knight, our pawn, and we're threatening this knight. He has to retreat. He decides to move forward. Now, this is a very good this is a very strong spot for him. It's been protected. This knight here has been protected by this pawn and this bishop. We decide to take the free piece. This pawn is not being protected. We decide to take him out right now. Our knight. He moves his queen side pawn down 1 to pressure our knight. We retreat with our knight. He castles. We move one of our left side pawns up 1, pressing his knight. He retreats with his knight. We move our queen side pawn up 2 to threaten his bishop. He has to retreat, so he's retreated with his bishop and his knight. We're pushing forward. We're in a very good position here. We've done well in our position and put pressure on our opponent. We move our right side pawns up to threaten his knight. He has to retreat once again. His knight. We move our right side bishop up. He takes our unguarded pawn. His right bishop. Now our knight is pinned because a more valuable piece is hiding behind the knight. If we move this knight, he's going to take our queen, so we can't move our knight. We move our queen up here. We're still covering the knight here. He decides to bring down one of his knights again. We castle. He takes one of our pawns with his knight. We take out his knight with our knight. He takes our knight. Queen. We've both lost 2 knights. He's lost 2 pawns and 2 knights. We've lost 2 knights and 1 pawn. Now he's got pressure on us. We protect our king and rook by putting us between the pawn and his queen. We confront his queen with our queen. He takes our queen, we take his queen. A disaster aversion. Brings down one of his left side pawns down 1. We bring our right side rook across 1. He brings his right side rook across. We bring our left side bishop up the board. He brings one of his right side pawns up the board. We take his pawn with our pawn, and he. Good thing about this move, the stellar move, by the way, by moving this pawn by taking his pawn, it opens up the fact that we've put him in check, as you can see. Checked him. He has to either move his king away or place one of his rooks in front of our bishop, which would be fatal anyway. If he moves his rook here or his rook over here, they're both toast, depending on which one he moves. He decided to move the king away. That's all that he could do. You take his pawn without pawn. Now we put pressure on the end game here. Become a queen. He moves his rook across to try and put pressure on our pawn. We move our bishop up here to control this, to protect this pawn. He moves his rook across. We move our bishop up here, put pressure on this pawn. He takes out one of our rooks with his first rook. We take out his first rook, our second rook. Now we're down, both down to 2 bishops and a pawn and a rook. And I've got 5 pawns left, and he's got 5 pawns left. So it's still a very even game at this point in time. He decides to move his bishop back. Obviously protect this pawn. We move our rook up the page to put pressure on his bishop. He moves his bishop away. We move out one of our bishops up. He brings down one of his left side pawns down 1. We check him. Now, what he can do is take our rook, his last rook. But what will happen is we'll take his last rook with one of our bishops. However, he decides to resign. The fact is, this is why he resigned. If he took our last rook with his last rook, we would take his last rook. Even though the game's still in the balance, he could have put his bishop here, hit this pawn from becoming a queen. Could have done that. But he decided not to, for some reason. He decided to resign. Probably felt I was putting too much pressure on him, so get out of it. But his next move should have been move his bishop up to here. Especially if he could have taken my rook with his rook, and would have taken out his last rook with my bishop, and he should have moved this bishop up here to protect this pawn from becoming a queen. We decided to quit, so we take the win. That's the end of the third game, my friends. Now we're back onto the fifth game. This is the fifth game versus Yetihouse. Without further ado, let's see how it went. I move my right side rook pawn up 2. He brings his king side pawn up the board by 2. I bring my king side pawn up 2. He brings his left side knight out to threaten this pawn here. We defend by bringing out our left side knight out at this point. He brings his queen side pawn down the board by 2. We bring one of our right side pawns up 1. He takes our pawn. We take his pawn back. He brings his left side bishop down the board. We bring our queen out. Brings his right side bishop down the board to threaten our queen. We take evasive action, move our queen. He takes our knight with his bishop. We take his bishop with our pawn. Now, I probably should have taken bishop with this pawn. Because by taking this pawn here, using this pawn here, it opens up this here. I could have easily taken this bishop with this pawn, and these 3 pawns would still remain, and all we have to do is move the bishop out, and we could have safely castled. I think that was a mistake by using this pawn. Take bishop, because it opens us up. It's a whole big hole there, so we should have taken bishop. That opens us up for attacks later on. Brings his queen down 1. We bring our queen side pawn up 1. Castles. Take this pawn with our queen. He brings his right side knight down to threaten our queen. We move our queen out of the way. He brings his right side rook across 1 to protect this pawn from attack by the queen. We bring our left side bishop out, threaten this rook. However, he decides to move his right side rook pawn down 1 through our queen. We have to move our queen out of the way. He brings his left side rook pawn down 1. We bring one of our left side knight up the board. However, that was a bad move. He could have taken us. No, sorry, it wasn't a bad move. I was just trying to block him from attacking versus my knight king. That's why I put the knight in the way. Even if he took our knight with his bishop, we would have been able to take his bishop with our pawn. He moved his right side rook across. We castle. Brings his right side rook back, the right, off the board. We move our left side rook across 1. He moves his left side rook across 1. We move our knight back, hit the king. He brings his rook out. Threaten our queen. We have to move our queen out of the way. He brings queen down the page. We bring our right side bishop out to challenge his bishop. Now, this is a mistake that we made. We should have moved the pawn up here or the knight up here. Stop him from taking our pawn right there. Fails to do that. So this is the game. This is the game changer in this game, guys. One fatal mistake can lose you the whole game. In chess, that's for sure. So it opens us up to attack by his queen once he takes his pawn. We put our knight down here so you protect the bishop. Things are getting out of hand now. He takes our bishop with his bishop. We take his bishop with our rook. He brings his rook across here to also threaten the bishop. He could take and even if we didn't move our bishop away, he could take our bishop, his rook, and we could take his rook, our knight, but he's going to have the final say by taking our knight with his queen, and he'll check us. He would have a 2-1. He would win. He would take out 2 of our pieces. We only lose. He would take out 2 of our pieces. We only take 1 of his, so he would win that battle anyway. So, however, we decide to move our bishop out of harm's way by threatening his rook. He takes our bishop with his knight. We take his knight with our queen, with our pawn, sorry, and we threaten his rook right now. He brings his rook across, threaten our pawn. We bring our pawn up 1 on the left side of the page, of the board. He retreats his queen. We bring our queen back. He brings his rook across here. We bring one of our center pawns up 1. He brings one of his right side pawns down 2. We bring up one of our center pawns up 1. Threaten his horse, his knight, and he has to take evasive action by moving his knight out of the way. We bring our right side rook pawn up 1. He brings his right side rook pawn down the page by 1. We bring our left side rook up the board, threaten his rook. He moves his rook out of the way. We bring one of our left side pawns up 1. Mainly to just block him from coming down here with his rook. However, he decides to take our pawn with his pawn. We move our pawn up, threaten his knight. We threaten his knight, brings his knight out of harm's way. We bring our second rook down here, double stack the rooks. He takes our rook with his knight, and he's got us checked. We take his knight with our rook. Right now, he's got 2 rooks. We've got 1 rook. We've both got queens. I have a knight. We both got 3 powerful pieces left. However, he's got 2 rooks to kick it. He moves one of his centre pawns down to threaten my rook. We move one of our left side pawns up 1 to threaten his rook. He moves his rook out of the way. We take his rook with his first rook with our knight. He checks us. His queen. Kicks our king with his queen. We move our king out of harm's way. He moves his pawn down here to threaten our queen, to check us. We can't take his pawn because the queen is patrolling us. We move our king across to block the pawn from becoming a queen. Brings his rook down, take our queen. And this game is snowballing out of control now. We're losing key battles. Take his rook, his last rook with our king. However, he takes our knight with his queen. And now we can't win this game. We're down to 4 pawns and we've got a king left where he's got a queen. 5 pawns left. Not only does he have 1 more pawn than us, he's got his queen left. That's enough to win the game. Move our king away. He moves his pawn down. And then I resign. I can see it was a hopeless situation. I wouldn't be able to win the game anyway. Key moment in the game was when he took my pawn on the corner with his queen. I failed to defend that pawn by moving the knight or the pawn up. That was the changing moment in the game. That's end of chess game review number 5, guys. At this point, after 5 game reviews, I've lost 3 and won 2 games. Let's go into the next game, with game number 6. Let's see how it goes. So this is my 3rd game so far against Sykes. You're one of my friends, plays poker and chess just like I do. So this is our 3rd game against Sykes and our 6th chess game review overall that we're doing over the last week of chessplay.com. But further, let's see how this game went. We move our queenside pawn up 2. He moves his queenside pawn down 2. We bring our left knight up the board. He brings his left knight down the board. We bring our left side bishop up the board. He brings his right side pawn up. Rook pawn up 1, down the page 1. We bring our queen up the page by 1. He brings his right side rook up the page, down the page, down the board. We bring our right side rook pawn up 1. He brings his king side pawn up down the page by 1. We bring our left side rook pawn up the page by 1. He brings his right side bishop down the page, down the board. We take his bishop with our bishop. He takes our bishop with his queen. We bring our queen out, put the pressure on. Now, if we can just take this pawn, he would put in a world of hurt. So he decides to castle, but he's well protected. Bring our queen back. He takes our queen. We take his queen. Takes our pawn with his knight. A false move by us. That was not protected. Brings his knight down, take our pawn. Now, in castle right now, he would move his horse here, he'd have us in check, and then we'd be forced to move our king, and he could easily take out our rook move. That's why we castle right now, protect against that. He brings one of his right side pawns down too. We bring one of our right side pawns down too to threaten his knight here. He brings his knight back, retreating it. We bring our left side knight up the page. He brings one of his right side pawns down one. We bring our left side knight up the page to threaten both bishop and his rook. He decides to dodge the attack by moving his rook across the side. We move our left side knight back down the page to avoid being taken out by the rook. Moves right side rook down the page. Pressure on us. We take his rook. This is a mistake by him. This is going to cost him this game. He moved his rook down here, not realizing I can take his bishop, take his rook with my bishop. Now we've got the advantage. If you're down a rook or a queen, or a hawk, or a knight, or a bishop, you easily lose the game. Especially if you if you're down a rook or a queen, you face him. He takes our bishop with his knight, his pawn, and it opens up this area here for us to move our rooks up, take his king. We take his pawn with our knight. He moves one of his left side pawns down the page. We move our right side knight out. Moves his left side rook across. We bring one of our left side pawns up the page by 2. Brings his left side knight down the page. Put pressure on us. We bring out one of our knights back down the page. Brings one of his left side pawns down by 1. We bring one of our right side pawns up by 1. Brings his right side bishop down. Pin this horse knight. Why is this a good move? Because we can't move our knight. Because he will take a more valuable piece, which is the rook right there if we move this knight. This is why this is such a good move. He's putting lots of pressure on us, by the way. Move our rook across to protect this knight. Bring one of his centered pawns down. We bring our right side rook pawn up by 1. Takes one of our center pawns with his center pawn. We move out one of our right side. We move our right side rook pawn up by 1. He decides to move one of his left side pawns down to cancel us out. Now, these two pawns can't move, cancel each other out. The only way they can move is by taking diagonally. Move our king over here. Now, we've got very good defense here. He can't move his knight over here. However, he can move it here if he wishes to. However, he can't take any of our pieces because as you can see in the moment, we'll be able to pick that. He could have moved his knight here if he wanted to. However, he decides to move down here to pressure our rook. Move our rook across to dodge his possible attack. He brings one of his left side pawns down. We take his rook. We take one of his knights with one of our knights and put pressure on his bishop. However, he can take our knight, what he does, and then we take his pawn. We won 2 pieces there, 2 of his pieces out, and we only lost 1 piece. That was a good exchange. As you can see, we took out 2 pieces and he only took out 1 of ours. We've got a good advantage here in this game now. We've got 4 pawns. We've got 5 pawns left. He's got 5 pawns left. He's got a knight and a bishop. We've got only 1 knight. However, the kicker is we've got 2 rocks. He's only got 1 rock. He moves one of his left side pawns down page by 1. We move one of our knights up the page, put pressure on this pawn. He defends the pawn with his rook. We move our knight up the page. He brings one of his centre pawns down by 1. We put him in check with our knight. He has to move his knight towards us to defend. We move our knight away. He brings his king down the page. However, he can't take this pawn out because we're protecting it. We have to move our knight out of the way because this knight is coming under attack by this pawn. However, he missed an opportunity here. He couldn't take our knight here with this pawn because it would have put him in check. This pawn is pinned out, and that is a more valuable piece hiding behind it. But he cannot take our knight with his pawn because this rook would have him in check. He moves his king towards us a little bit. We move our knight out of the way. He moves his knight back. We double stack our 2 rooks here. He brings his rook across here to cover this. We take him with our knight. He takes us. His knight. We move our pawn up to pressure his knight. He moves his rook away. We take his knight with our rook. He moves his king away. So he couldn't have taken our rook here with his king because this pawn here is protected. He moves his king away. We move our king up the page. Oh, sorry, the rook up the page. He brings his rook down the page a bit. King. We put him in check with our second rook. He moves his king away out of the firing line. However, we're starting to mop up the board now, taking out third to last rook. Third to last pawn, sorry, our second rook. He can't take either of our rooks because both of them are protecting each other. He moves his pawn 2 spaces away from victory to get a queen. However, we've got him covered. We can easily take him out whenever we want. We move our rook around to confront his only rook left. He moves his rook down the page. We move our king to threaten his rook and protect our pawn. He won't take this pawn because if he takes our pawn with his rook will take out his rook. And he can't bring his rook down here because it would take him out. So losing that second rook of his was very costly. He moves his king across the page. We take out his rook. He takes our rook out with his pawn, and we block his third to last pawn from becoming a queen at the finish line. He moves his king side. We move our rook across. He moves his king across. We take out his third to last pawn. Now we've got 5 pawns left, and he's only got 2 pawns, and we've got a rook. That's the kicker. He moves his king across and then decides to resign. So Sykes made a critical error in this game. You think about the error for a minute. Oh yes, he maybe just rewind it a bit. That's right. When he moved his rook down here, and not realizing we're taking out his bishop, out his rook, first rook with our bishop, and that won us the game. Well, up a rook all the way through that game. And if you lose your queen, or if you're down a rook, 9 times out of 10 you'll lose the game, especially in the end game when rooks and queens become very powerful. That's the third win we won. We won over the last week, guys. This is 6 chess game reviews I've made right now, but 1 more to go. So it's now 2-1 to Sykes. Playing our 4th game as we speak, and that game will probably be reviewed next weekend. I'll just bring up the 7th and final game. Let's start this game. Move our queenside pawn up 2. He brings his queenside pawn down 2. We bring out our left side knight up the board. He brings his left side knight up the board. We bring our left side bishop up the board. He brings his right side bishop up the board, down the board. We bring out right rook pawn up 1. He brings his left rook pawn down the page by 2. We bring one of our right side pawns up the page by 1. He retreats his bishop. We bring our left side bishop up the page to threaten his knight. He retreats his knight away from us. We move our bishop back. He brings his right side knight out, down the page. We bring our left side knight down the page. Now we're threatening this position. If he doesn't do anything here, we'll be checking him, and we can take out his rook. That's the goal. However, he doesn't see it. Moves his pawn down instead, and we check him. Put him in check, and he has to move his king away here, and then we can take out his rook. And like I said just before, guys, if you're down a rook, or if you lose your queen and your opponent hasn't lost his queen, you're at a massive disadvantage. 9 times out of 10, you'll lose the game. So he resigned so early in this game. This game had hardly started, and he resigned. So that is all the hand chess reviews for this week. We won 4 and lost 3, and drew none. This video will be going on my YouTube channel the PS guy, and I put it on my social media channels and Discord. We'll be back tomorrow. Like 31 chess moves that we've got to do. We've got 18 hours to make our first chess move, then 20 hours for the next one. So we'll be making them soon. I hope you guys got some value from this. If you have any questions about chess or any feedback to give me, feel free to let me know in the comments on the YouTube video. I hope you enjoyed this, guys. We'll be back next week for our second batch of hand chess game news. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.